Dear students, I welcome you again. I'm Pratima. Today in this video, we will learn how to find domain and range of functions. Meant for class 11 and 12. We'll explain some questions with answers for asked in the Cbse, NDA, JEE and other entrance examination. So let us begin. What is a function? A relation f from a set A to set B is said to be function if every element of set A has one and only one image in set B. It is denoted by f A maps to B. So first condition is every element of A must have a image in B, and every element of A should have only one image in B. This is the condition for a function. We have already learnt it. If f is a function from set A to set B and AB is the order pairs which belongs to function, then we write f of A is B. B is called set of image under function and A is called pre-image. Pre-image under F. A is your pre-image and B set of B will be the image. Then what is domain? The domain of a function is the complete set of possible values of the independent variables. And what is range? Range is the set of dependent variables. Function is the complete set of all possible resulting values of the dependent variables. After we are putting the x in the function. So in simple language, we will say a function is defined from x to y. X is the set of all order pairs. X is a element of first set and y is a element of second set. So this is the set builder form of a function. It is same as your relation, only you know the condition where x is unique and for each x there will be only one y in your set of y. Or in simple language, you can say x is not repeated. This is all order pairs where x will not be repeated. Now domain of F is set of x, first elements of the order pairs, and range of F is set of y, and codomain is the second set. Codomain is the always second set. Now we will learn about domain and range of some real valued common functions. What is the real valued functions? That means the functions which is defined from set of either real numbers or set of real or subset of real numbers. So this is called real valued functions. Now first is your identity function. The common function about from this is your identity function. Identity function is set of, let R be the set of real numbers, the real valued function f defined from R to R, real number to real number, by y is equal to f of x, where f of x is same as your x for each x belongs to R. This function is called identity function, or simply you can write y is equal to x, because y denotes your fx denotes for your y. That means it is the image. So what will the domain of this function? That means when y is equal to x, you can put anything in the x. You can put any real numbers. Similarly, whatever you are putting in the real number, that is your domain. So I can put your rational number, I can put irrational number. Similarly, I can get the same value of y. So for each value of x, y is defined. So here the domain will be all real numbers. And similarly, fx or y, it will be same as x. So it will be all real number. So for identity functions, the domain and range both are your real numbers. Now coming to constant functions. Constant function is your f defined from real number to real number. Y is equal to fx is equal to a constant. It can be denoted as k, it will be denoted as c, where x is belongs to real number, where c is a constant. So and each x belongs to r. So whatever you will put in value of x, it will be always a constant. So if equal to f2, this is also c. If I'll take f minus 3, this is also c. If I'll put f is equal to root 5, that is equal to c. So that means in the place of x, I can put any value I can put. So domain is any real number. But when I am taking y, which is range, I am getting only one value. That's why it is constant function. So y is only c. So what will the domain? Domain will be all real numbers. What will be range? Range will be only c. So domain of real number, domain is your all real numbers, but range is only c because only one element in the set. Next is modulus function. Modulus function is also known as absolute function. How it is defined? The function defined from R to R is defined by fx is equal to absolute value of x. What is its meaning? This is your absolute value of x is always positive x. If absolute value of x is equal to same as your x when x is your greater than equal to 0, and this is negative x when x is less than 0. That means whatever I'll put, suppose I'll put 2, it will be your 2. Equal to minus 2, that will be again 2. Or 0, it is 0. So can it be negative? No, because we know that modulus means it is becoming positive. Equal to minus 2, that will be minus of minus 2, that will be your positive 2. So the range is always positive numbers. Equal to root 2. Minus root 2, still it will be root 2. So this will be positive real number, and domain can be anything. Anything you can put in place of x. So x is, domain of x is, domain of set is R, all real numbers. But when we say range is equal to all positive real numbers starting from 0. So it is better to write in the interval. So we can write domain is equal to your R. R in the interval, I can write minus infinity to infinity. This is writing in the interval. And range is, I'll write your 0 to infinity. What does it mean? Here I have put in the parenthesis. That means minus infinity and plus infinity cannot be included. You cannot include. You cannot touch infinity. Cannot be included. So when cannot be included, that we put open interval. And here 0 is included. 0 is included. So I am putting your bracket. So 0, starting from 0, 0 is included. 0 is included, but infinity is not included, so it is an open bracket. So you should know how to put brackets when it will be open, when it will be closed. Closed means it is included, open means it is not included. And whenever you will write infinity, plus infinity or minus infinity, it can't be included because you cannot reach infinity. You cannot touch infinity. You cannot include infinity. So that time it will be open interval. Next, coming to polynomial function. Polynomial functions is defined from real number to real number, where fx is equal to, here I have taken the quadratic function. Polynomial can be cubic, quadratic can be more than that, maybe linear. So quadratic function is fx is equal to x square, quadratic function. So what will the domain of this function? If I'll put f1, you are getting 1 square 1. If I'll put f2, this will be again 4. If I'll take f minus 2, you are getting your 4. If you are taking minus root 2, then you are getting 2. That means just you observe whatever I am putting in the x, I can define the function. But this value is y, your range is always your positive real numbers. So it will be same as your modulus function. So domain of f is equal to, domain is R, domain can be any real number, but when we talk range, it will be starting from 0, because it can be defined from 0 square is 0. So 0 to infinity. 0 is included, infinity is not included. Similarly, let us go for another polynomial function, that is cubic function. Cubic function is fx equal to xs cube. Will it be same for your as your quadratic? No. Why? If I'll take f1 is equal to 1 cube 1, but if I'll take minus 1, it will be minus 1. So the range can be negative, y can be negative. F2 is your 8, but f minus 2 is minus 8. So it can be negative also. So what will we include? We'll conclude that domain is all real number, range is also all real numbers. So the domain is R and range is also R for cubic functions. Then rational function. Rational functions means fx by gx. So most simple function I have taken, it is reciprocal function 1 by x. Reciprocal functions 1 by x. So let us find domain and range, and all about this graph of these functions. If you want to learn, I have another video. You can find domain and range from the graph. Directly from the graph you can find, or you can learn how to draw the graph of different functions. So reciprocal function is fx equal to 1 by x. Now let us see what values x we can put or what values y we can get, because x is set of domain and y is set of range. So here if I'll put x is equal to your 1, how much you are getting? I am getting your 1. Minus 1, I am getting minus 1. If I'll put 2, it will be half, 0.5. But if I'll put 0, how much it will be? How much? It cannot be defined. 1 by 0 cannot be defined. Is there any number for which it cannot be defined? No, only 0. So when it is cannot be defined, so 0 cannot be domain. So what will the domain of this function? All real numbers except 0. Domain is equal to all real numbers except 0. And what about this range? Can it be 0? Range, the value of y, can it be 0? 1 by x. When, for what value of x, y will be 0? There is no such value. So range is also all real numbers except 0. So this is one way of writing. And now I'll write using your intervals. The domain of function is minus infinity to 0 and 0 to infinity, and 0 is not included. 0 is not included. So I put a open bracket or parenthesis. Similarly, range is also same, minus infinity to 0, 0 not included, and here 0 is also not included. So this is your reciprocal functions. We finished. Next, going to square root function. Square root function. Square root function is square root of x when x belongs to a real number, and here also function is defined from real number to real number. So what is the domain? If I'll x square root of minus 1, can it be defined? No. Square root of minus 2, can it be defined? No. So square root function is defined only when x is greater than equal to 0. So what is the domain? Domain will be real numbers starting from 0. And range is also all positive numbers. It cannot be negative. Square root of minus 2, square root of 2 is your root 2 only. It cannot be minus root 2 when we talk about range. The value of root 2, we can take minus root 2, but when we talk about range, we won't take the negative one. Range is always positive real numbers. So you should keep in mind, note it. Whenever we talk about the range is always positive real numbers. Range is always positive. So domain is 0 to infinity, 0 is included. 0 is included because square root of 0 is 0. You can define. Now range is also from 0 to 0 is included. So bracket, and infinity cannot be included. So it is parenthesis. Next is greatest integer. So next is greatest integer function. So to find the domain and range of this function, let us know what's it. It is if x is in between from 0 up to 1, the greatest integer function value is 0. Similarly, if it is from 1 to up to 2, means even 1.999, this gives you 1. That means we take the lowest integer. Similarly, if it is negative side, it will be minus 1 up to 0. This value is your minus 1. Minus 1 up to 0, it will be minus 1. So that means if I'll put 1.9 even, it will take 1. If I'll take minus 1.9, it will be take minus 2. So this is the definition of this. So we can say that here for x, I can put any value, I can put decimal. So domain is all real numbers, but when we are talking about range, see range is value of set of y. This is always only integers. So the domain is R and range of greatest integer function is your integers. Set of integers. Next is signum function. Signum function is another function. It is defined in a way, if x is greater than 0, that is it is 1. If it is equal to 0, it is 0. If it is less than 0, it will be minus 1. That means if x is equal to 2 even, your fx is equal to same as 1. If x is equal to 100 even, fx is equal to your 1. If x is equal to 3.25, this is also 1. And for negative side, x is minus 2, still fx is equal to minus 1. So y is taking only the value 0, 1 and minus 1. And domain, we can put any value. So domain is real number, but range is only 3 values, that is minus 1, 0, 1. So domain is equal to all real numbers, set of real numbers, and range is equal to only 3 numbers, minus 1, 0, 1. So I hope you have learned something. Now we'll go for when there will be many functions together, how to get domain and range. Domain of sum of functions, if it is f of g, f plus g, or it is difference of function f minus g, product f into g, then only is your domain of function. Intersection domain of function g will be the domain, and when it is your division fx and gx, then it will be what? Domain of f intersection domain of g, but where gx is not equal to 0, because you know that when gx is equal to 0, function is not defined. So for function here f plus g, there are two different functions. Your if f minus g If it is f into g, the domain is equal to your intersection of two domains. Domain is intersection of two domains. And when it will be division, then only you will see that it should not be 0, otherwise it is also intersection of two domains. So knowing all these things, let us go for some questions. First I am taking two examples. Here fx is equal to x by x square plus 3x plus 2. So first one is your rational function, or it is a reciprocal function. So you have to, for domain, you have to see only the denominator when it is not equal to 0. X square plus 3x plus 2 should not be equal to 0. Then function will be defined, cannot be defined. So if you will simplify this or you factorize this, you get two values. So x should not be equal to minus 2, x should not equal to minus 1. That time it will not be defined. So we can write all domain is equal to all real numbers except minus 1 and minus 2. Except minus 1 into minus 2. So this is simple. Now coming to second one. Second one is there are two functions. One is fx, one is gx. So we'll take the common of all these things. Then this is greatest integer function. First one is greatest integer functions. Its domain is also all real numbers. And gx, the x, it is identity function. Range domain is also all real numbers. So what will be the domain of all these intersection? That will be again your real number. If it will be subtraction, domain will be integer only, because greatest integer function range is integer. Now coming, check how much you have learned. That means we'll go questions one by one. You can pause the video, you can find answer yourself, then you can check. So no need of writing each and every questions, copying from the screen. First is I have taken two together. Fx is equal to your negative of your modulus function. When it is negative of modulus function, let us go for the positive greatest modulus function. We know that its domain is equal to all real numbers, but we when say range is equal to positive real numbers starting from 0. So range is equal to how much? 0 to infinity. Now when it is negative x, fx or negative x, just it will be opposite of it. So domain will be similar. It will be same. Domain is equal to all real numbers, because both positive negative are included. And when we take negative of it, this will be minus infinity up to 0. Now coming to second one, fx is equal to square root 9 minus x square. So this function is square root function. So for square root function, if you'll recall, you have to see that what should be under root. It should be positive. That means 9 minus x square should be greater than equal to 0. This is the first condition for the square root function. So when 9 minus x square greater than equal to 0, so minus x square should be greater than equal to 9. And you know the inequalities, it will be minus greater than 9. That means x square should be less than equal to 9. And what about x? X would be less than 3 and x would be greater than minus 3. There are two values here. So x would be less than equal to 3. X should be greater than minus 3. So what will be domain? Domain will, I'll write in the interval. It will be your minus 3, 3. That means all the real values included from minus 3 to 3. Or it is just as minus 3 to 3. Either this is the answer or this is the answer. When you will write x, you will write the x. This domain is equal to domain is equal to all x, where minus 3 x 3, or you will write simple, starting from minus 2 through to 3, both are included. Now coming to range. For range, you know that for range of the square root function, range is always positive, so it will start from positive 0, 0. It will start from 0, including 0. Where it will end, I am not taking the value from your more than 3. So it will be 9 minus 9, 0. If it is 0, then it will be 3. So it cannot take more than your 3, because I am not taking the value more than your 3. So it will be more than 3, 4, then it will be again negative. So it will be 0 to 3. And 3 is also included. So range is 0 to 3, and this will be, our domain is minus 3 to 3. Next is find the domain of this function. So again, for the, this is a reciprocal function or is a rational function. For domain, you will take only the denominator. You will see that when it cannot be defined, so you will write that condition only. For it, factorize this, minus 5x plus 4. You know that this will be x minus 4 into x minus 1. That means this value will become 0 if x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 1. So they cannot be the domain, not the domain. So that time the function will be undefined. So what I'll write, domain is equal to all real numbers except 0 and 4. 0 and 4. This is not an interval. When I am writing curly bracket, then I am writing only two values. When I am writing your square bracket, that means starting from 1 to 4. This is the confusion. 0, 1 to 4, 1, 4, that means only two values. But when I am writing this one, that means starting from 1 to 4, all real values, real numbers. That means infinite numbers are in between. Question number 3. Find the domain and range of real function fx is equal to your x minus 1. Fx is equal to x minus 1. So can I put any value of x? Yes. Any value, for any value I'll get, if I'll put 100, 100 minus 1, it will be 99. If I'll put your minus 100 minus 1, that will be your 101 again. So for any value of x, it can be defined. So domain is equal to all real numbers. Now coming to range. Range will be how much? It will start from 0, 0 to infinity. Can it be negative? No, it cannot be negative. So it will be from 0 to this. Next question is x square, greatest integer function x square and 5 into greatest integer function is plus 6 is equal to 0. So we can factorize this. So this will be greatest integer function square minus 3 box x minus 2 box x plus 6 is 0. So I'll get minus 3 I can write this one directly. I'm writing minus 2. You can write is equal to 0. So this is equal to your either 3 or this is equal to 2. That means we'll find the common of this. So when greatest integer function is 2, that means the value is your 2 to 3. X is equal to 2 up to 3. Similarly, this is 3 means this is 3 to 4. So what is common here? Common is x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3. So x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Where is the answer? Answer will be 2 to 3. So C is the answer. So range of cos x is -1 to 1. So I'm putting -1 minimum value, 1 maximum value in this function. So it will be 1 minus 2 into -1. How much I'm getting? 1 by your 3. And when I'm getting 1, it will be 1 minus 2 into 1. How much it will be? It will be -1. So what is the value? It will be -1 to 3. Both are included. So range is equal to -1 to 1 by 3. So what is the answer? B will be the answer. Next is domain of a square minus x square. This is easy because it should be greater than equal to 0. It is a square root function. So a square should be greater than equal to x square, or x square should be less than equal to a square. That means x should be less than equal to a, but x should be greater than equal to minus a. The value is from minus a to a. So this is the answer. Minus a to a. Next, the domain of this function. Here there are two functions. One is 4 minus x and another is 1 by under root x square plus -1, and you have to see whether the intersection of these two domains. So first domain 1 is equal to your 4 should be greater than x. 4 should be x greater than x means x should be less than equal to 4. That means it should be minus infinity to 4. And next coming to D2. D2 will be, you know that x square should not be equal to 1 or x should not be equal to plus minus 1. So it is all real numbers except your -1 and 1. So you will take the intersection of D1 and D2. Intersection of D1 and D2, it will be how much? So D of this function will be less than 4 but not -1 and 1. So the answer will be how much? Your 1 to 4. This is the answer. 1 to 4 minus infinity to -1 not included, correct, and union 1 to 4. So A is the answer. So A is the answer. A is equal to minus infinity to -1. -1 is not included. Up to -1. Union, your 1 is not included and 4 is included. So A is the answer. Next coming to 7. Domain and range of your 4 minus x by x minus 4. The domain is any all real numbers? Yes, no, except 0, 4. At 4, you will get your 4 minus 4 becoming 0, so except 4. And what about range? Range is equal to, can it be, range is equal to C, it will be 4 minus x by x minus 4. It always gives you -1. So range is only one value, that will be -1. So where is the answer? Answer will be your C. 8. The domain and range of under root x minus 1. And it is a square root function, so domain should be x minus 1, x is greater than 1. Greater than 1 means greater than equal to 1. It may be equal to 1. So 1 to infinity. 1 to infinity. And about range, range is equal to always positive real number. 0 to infinity. So where will be the answer? Check it. It is 1 not included, but here our answer is 1 included. So 1 to included, then range is equal to 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity. So this is your answer. C is the answer. 0 to infinity. This is 0 included to infinity. Then is question number 9. Domain of this function. It's very easy. So x square minus x minus 6 should not be equal to 0. So x minus 3, x plus 2 should not equal to 0. Then x should not be equal to 3. X should not be equal to minus 2. So domain is equal to all real numbers except your minus 2 and 3. So where is the answer? 3 minus 3 minus 2. So A is the answer. Next is question number 10. Domain x is equal, fx is equal to now 2 minus x minus 5. So what is domain? Domain of x minus 5. Domain of x minus 5 is all real numbers. All real numbers. So 2 minus all real numbers. How much? It will be all real numbers. So domain is equal to all real numbers. Now coming to range. Range, you know this. It always starts from 0. So this will be 0. Range of this 0, it will be 0 to, range of this is 0 to infinity. And we are interested in 2 minus 0 to infinity. 2 minus 0 to infinity. Now find the domain of this function. Fx is equal to 1 by square root minus mod x. What is the domain? Real number or positive real number, negative real number? None of this. Now let us define this once again. This is same as x when x is greater than or equal to 0. And this is same as your negative x when x is less than 0. So if I'll put positive x, that means greater than 0, then I'm getting, when x is your greater than or equal to 0, I'm getting x minus x, that is equal to 0. And when I'm putting x negative, I'm getting x minus x, that will be 2 times of x. So can you think of a value for which for positive x it is 0 and positive negative x it will be 2x. So it cannot be defined. So none of this. So domain of this function is your D, none of this. Now domain and range of 1 minus x square. This is a square root function. You know, for square root functions, whatever should be under root, it should be greater than or equal to 0 because there is no square root of negative numbers. So 1 minus x square is greater than 0, so 1 should be greater than x square. Or this implies that x square less than or equal to 1. This implies that x is less than 1 and x is greater than minus 1. So domain is equal to how much? Domain is equal to all x where x is greater than minus 1 and this is your 1. Or we write just it is domain is equal to minus 1 to 1, both end included. And what about range? Range, you know, range is square root function. It always starts from 0. So 0 to infinity. Question number 13. Find the domain and range of x by mod x. When x mod x is defined as this is x when x is positive and negative x when x is your negative x when x is negative. So it will be, I can put all real numbers in the domain. On the value is all domain, real numbers. Can I put 0? No. So it will be except 0. And what about range? Range is equal to, if we see, x by negative x is -1, x by positive x is will be 1. So they should give only two values. It will be -1 and 1. I'll put a curly bracket because only two values. It is not that interval. I'm sorry. It will be -1 to 1. Only these two values, -1 and 1. If we put positive, it will give you 1. If it will put negative, it will give you -1. And we are not putting 0, so it never gives your 0. These are the two values. Next is 14. If it is 1 by under root 1 minus x square, we have already discussed fx is equal to under root 1 minus x square. Let me compare what is the difference between these two. Here, what was the domain? Domain was minus infinity to -1 to +1. And the range was your 0 to 1. 0 to 1. So here 1 cannot be the answer. 1 cannot be answer. -1 cannot be answer because domain at that time it will become 0. So what will be? We'll write domain. It will be -1 to 1, but here -1 and 1 will not be included. So this is the difference. And range will be in the same way. It cannot be 0 because I am not putting your -1, so it will be 0 to 1 not included. 1 will be included and 0 will not be included because we are not putting 1. So range is, now the function is x square by 1 plus x square. This is the function. X belongs to R is a function from R to R real number to near determine the range. So for range, you know the function is equal to fx is equal to x square by 1 plus x square. This is the function. Now for domain, if the question would be domain here, domain can be any real number. Why? Because there is nothing that the denominator will become 0 for any value of x. It is all real numbers. And for range, we have to get the value of y. Range is equal to y. Y is equal to x square by 1 plus x square. If we see the value, for any value of x, x square by 1 plus x square is always less than 1. Always less. For any value of x, you put it, it is less than 1. So the range is starting from 0 and ending at 1, but 1 is not included. So this is your range. Range is equal to 0 to infinity. So when you are getting 0, we are putting x is equal to 0. 0 square is 0. So I hope you have enjoyed. Now please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can learn more and more. Share the video also so that your friends can learn. So thank you for watching.